Hi guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to build the ARC-170 Starfighter, which is the aggressive reconnaissance kind of starfighter from the Clone Wars, which has kind of seen quite big. It is a big craft as well. I didn't realise actually just how big it is compared to, say, for example, the X-Wing, which of course is the kind of predecessor before the X-Wing. It has these kind of cool kind of wings as well. What I've actually done is I've actually been able to make it so that you guys can actually go into the main part, which is cool. So you actually got this kind of back bit, and also in here. So I've had to kind of, well, I haven't really had to push too much on it at all. It just kind of worked because of the actual size of it, and also with where the wings were in the middle. It actually helped for me to actually push this up so you guys can get in. This front part at all, this kind of, I think it's just the actual main cockpit, you can't get into at all. The only way you can really do it is if we actually just cut out, yeah, even then you're still going to be a bit stuck. Cut out these and then put that back in, so you're still kind of stuck with this. If I show you that from the outside, so you can kind of see it there, or you can maybe do that. I don't know, I couldn't figure out any way to actually properly do it. I'm just going to have to refill this as well. Bear with me here, so that's just a full block in there. But yeah, it's a really cool one, definitely. It's got a unique shape as well, and it's quite complex. There is a couple of blocks that I don't think you guys have on the console version yet, like the cobblestone wool, but I'll tell you alternatives as we go through them right now. So you are going to need quartz. So you guys on the console versions, you don't have it yet, but probably by the time that this tutorial comes out, you guys will have it. I know that you're getting a close update if it is earlier. I always record these in advance, so I'm not really sure when it actually goes in, but you do need the quartz. I do advise having quartz blocks, stairs and slabs, because you will need them quite heavily on these types of builds, and mainly with the Star Wars builds, but you can always switch out for stuff like sandstone or birchwood. Those are your kind of lighter ones. So you're going to need a slab, stairs, and you're also going to need a block. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be just using the slab and just doubling up to make a block, so that saves you one more block. Red stained clay, that's what I've started to kind of use. You can also use the red wool as well. That'll work absolutely fine. That's what I've used in my older Star Wars builds, but I'm now actually switching them to the red clay. I kind of like it more. I've kind of preferred it, so you can use that. You're also going to need glass. You're going to need buttons, block of iron, cobblestone wool, which you can switch out quite easily for nether brick fence. You're also going to need fence, and also fence gate, which is going to be your main kind of guns. There's one on the back, and there's also the two main ones on the side. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to raise myself off the ground just to show you guys the underneath bit a bit. So I'm just going to go up into the air, and then what we're going to do is I'm just going to create a full block of quartz, and now we're going to have 6 blocks of red. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6, I didn't place it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the back, all you're going to do is you're just going to add a slab like this. And then on the front, you're going to have a block. You're going to have 3 slabs, 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to have an upside down stair. What I advise doing is just putting in 2 blocks, just so you can actually have this upside down stair here. Now you're going to do is you're going to have 2 blocks of red. Then on top of this, you're going to have a stair. So you're going to have the quartz stair here. You have 3 blocks, 1, 2, and 3, just like that, of the red. And you have 2 of quartz. It's going to have the glass on top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back down to here, and we're going to grab our stairs, and you're just going to wrap this one around here, and you're just going to do it. There's only going to be 4 of them, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is this kind of weird bottom bit, which I saw in one of the models. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, which I'm not too sure what it is used for, but just put that in there. And if we come to the back, what you're going to do is you're just going to come off this part here. You're going to have a block directly on top of that slab there. There's also going to be another block on the back, and then yet another block right here. And this one is a full block, and then you've got a slab here. So you're basically mirroring what you got on this side here, like that. Then if you grab your fence, you can just put a fence down on this part, and then you're going to have 2 fence gates coming off it. Not fences, fence gates. There we go. So if you don't really like that, what you can do is you can also put the fence gate on like this, and you can punch it out. Try and make that kind of gun type bit like that, but I'm just going to go with that for the time being because that's kind of directly connected in. And then what you're going to do, just for this cockpit, we're just going to have a piece of glass. This is at the back, so you got 1 piece of glass. You have 3 blocks, so you got 1, 2, and 3. There should be 2 pieces of glass right there. And then on this part, we're just going to build up So you just got 2 blocks behind here, and this will give you this kind of little area. At the minute it does look really weird because we are kind of building it 2D, but this is the most complex part, this middle bit. Everything else will just kind of work out from it, so I'm trying to make it so that everything's really clear. This next bit we're going to do is we're going to grab our stairs. So if we start on the back bit where we've got this full block, we're just going to do a stair this way. Then we're going to wrap these around like this until we get to here. So that's where you're going to wrap around the last one. So we'll do the same on the other side as well. So you've got one wrapped here. And I'll just keep going around here and then wrap that one around. Then we're going to do the same upside down this time. And this will just cover up that kind of gap that we've got. Same on the other side. Upside down stair here, then wrap this one around. And wrap that one around as well. That gives us the kind of main body of the middle part. So now all we really have to do is the wings, which are pretty easy. So let's do this. Okay, now we're going to do the engine part. So just on this kind of stair that we've got here, we're going to have a red piece. Then we're going to have a block of iron, then 2 pieces of cobblestone wall, or your alternative, which would be never brick. Yeah, it's never brick. Yeah, never brick fence. And then we're going to have 2 blocks of quartz here. Then we're going to have 2 blocks of iron on the back part here, and 2 blocks of quartz, and then 2 of your kind of wool or alternative. So it's red. Then you've got a block of iron, 2 of your wool, you have 2 pieces of iron, then 2 full blocks of your quartz, and you've got your 2 cobblestone wool to make this engine. So they're quite complicated in a way, and all we need to do now is just put your buttons right on the front. You can also put a button right on this front part, because there is kind of like a gun that I've seen on some of the schematics of them. So I guess you could just put some sort of thing in there, because it seems to be inside the actual nose bit. So now let's do the wings. Okay, so for the main kind of middle wing part, which is what we'll do first, is if we just come to this kind of wall that we've got here and go 4, so you got 1, 2, 3 and 4, so make sure that you're on the lower part. The reason being is that we can actually connect stuff onto the underneath part here. What we're going to do is you're going to go inwards and you have 3, so you got 1, 2, 3 and then a 2. So 2, so you got 1, 2. And it's the same off this back block. We're going to have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and then a 2. If I can actually place all these blocks right. So we should have this kind of 2 by 2 here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fill up this part here on the wing. Let's put up this and come across here. And we're just going to leave a 2 by 3 box right next to it here. So we're going to have 2 on each side. So there we go. We've got 3 going this way and then 2 going across. So what I recommend is, I'm only going to show it to you on one side. I recommend you copy it to the other side as you're doing it, because as you can see, it seems to get a bit fiddly. So I definitely recommend doing that now. Okay, and while we're here on this wing as well, we might as well do the guns. So we're just going to put 2 pieces of fence here. And if we come underneath, we're going to have go forwards by 7. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then lay your fence gates on top of this. Like that. So it's a pretty massive kind of gun on this part. So I'm just going to copy it to the other side, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, if we just come to one of these wings, actually I was teaching you guys on this side, so I'll go to this side. So you're just going to have slabs on the kind of higher part right here. And if you guys are on Xbox or the console versions, for example, I'm pretty sure you still have to do something like this to get your hit point to actually make it go there. So you actually have to use that block. So you'll have to kind of, it'll be complicated for you guys, unfortunately. So you're just going to have 1 raised up in this part. Next one, we're going to go up and raised up by another slab, but this is going to be a section of 2. Then we're going to have another section of 2, which is going to be raised up by a slab. And then finally another section of 2, like that. And then all we need to do is, just in this part, we're just going to go here and here. So we're just going to add the kind of 2 closest to the end. We're just going to add an extra kind of block, and then we're just going to cut out this kind of small square right here. And of course the same on the other side, but it's also the same underneath as well. So I recommend doing it this way, where you've got these kind of 2 slabs. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have this next set. So you've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just make sure you put in these here. So we'll have to delete a couple of these as you go down. And then of course right on this part we're just going to add an extra block to each of these sides, and then also to these sides here, and then cut out just those couple there. So that gives the extra wing, so copy that to the other side. Okay, so there it is. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. It's a little bit more of a complex one. It's a pretty complex build. It took me quite a while to actually get the kind of shape, kind of get happy with the shape at least. I think it's pretty good. I haven't really seen that many other ones of this actual craft, and especially when you guys can actually go inside as well, so you guys should be happy with that hopefully. But if you have enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you comment, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.